So my first question was, what is one or a couple of your most seminal moments in your career that inspired you to be who you are today?
I always wanted to be like in the theater. And I was stage managing a show at the Edmonton Fringe, and I saw Judith Thompson's Crackwalker. The first time I'd heard of Judith Thompson, the first show I'd seen, that was life changing. I was like, oh, you can do that on stage. Whereas Thompson's Res Sisters in Winnipeg, when I was younger, that was astonishing. And I was like, oh, we can tell our own stories on stage. And I remember a production of Bent by Martin Sherman at the Warehouse at MTC, that at the end of it, I could not move from my seat. And I was like, oh, theater can be like this. Those are sort of like just popcorn sort of seminal moments. There are many,
Mhm.
but those are three that come to mind immediately.
In the pandemic, as artists, what do you think is your role?
I think our role as artists is always to try and make order out of what we live in, try to make order out of the chaos. And the pandemic has been the perfect example of chaos. We try to make sense out of what's happening in the world. And so I've been doing that in a bunch of ways, both creatively by writing things and putting things out there like Catharsis at PTE and, Lash Palapatat at Imago. It's been interesting to be doing things by distance. But I've also been doing lots of panel work and committee work and discussion work, talking about when we come back from the pandemic, what are we going to look like? What is theater going to be? Which has been really exciting for me.
Um, I am wondering what you hope theater is going to be in the future, what you hope for theater in the future.
Yeah, this is the silver lining of the pandemic. I want theater to be reflective of the communities in which we live. I want it to be more equitable. I want it tip it on its side. I want smaller, more intimate, more important theater. I want theater to matter more to people, to everybody. That's what I hope for. And that's why I've been so busy in the pandemic working at, like, so that when we come back, we actually come back to the thing that I believe that theater is.
Mhm.
Okay, so we've been hanging out together for months,
Mhm.
sort of regularly. And I guess my question for you is, what has been the most surprising thing for you in this process?
You said something that made my heart explode when I was talking to you about art and how you managed to do all the different things. And you said it's because that's who we are and that's what we do, is we don't do just one thing. And I've been so concerned about being pigeonholed into one area of art, and knowing that I don't have to just be one thing in the art world. I think that was the most exciting and mind opening thing. It changed the way that I see myself, because I don't just see myself as one thing. And now I'm proud to just be out there as being a whole bunch of different things. And I think that was the moment that has stuck with me so far, that I'm just so excited with.
Okay, so my second question is, where do you see yourself in 5 to 7 years? And that, for whatever that means to you.
I would love to be doing theater in all different places, so not even just necessarily inside of a theater. I think that's something from the pandemic that that kind of opened my eyes, is that theater doesn't necessarily have to take place in this one space, that it can literally be everywhere and anything. And so I think just trying to be in different spaces, creating and sharing stories, I think that's what I want to see myself in 5 to 7 years, telling stories outside and telling stories inside and telling stories in small spaces and telling stories in big spaces, and changing the way that stories are being told as well, and hopefully bringing a whole bunch of other people along with me to tell those stories too.
That is awesome, which kind of also answers my other question, is like, where do you see theater going? Like, what is theater that we come back from after the pandemic?
When you brought up catharsis, there was a moment where I walked into the theater when we were about to record for it, and I had this like overwhelming moment of, this is the space that I needed to be in, and I know that there's other people that are craving that feeling again. And so I think when we get into the ability to do shows and to do performances again, to have those as celebrations of who we are as people, and I think having that moment to celebrate together as a community, and I think that's something that I can't wait for, and I'm really looking forward to.
Thanks. There, we did it, Katie.